can hear you. Hello and welcome to the PMQ Live Update for April 11th. I'm your host, Brian Hernandez, and today we are here with RC Gallegos. They are not initials. That's his real name. It's on his passport. Trust me, I've seen it. He's with RC's NYC Pizza and Pasta in the Woodlands, Texas, and that's in where? Like the Houston area or?
It is in the Houston area. We're north of Houston. We have 3 different locations. We're all north of Houston in Kingwood, Texas, the Woodlands, Texas, and New Caney, Texas.
Okay, that's great. So, we got some locations, you guys. If you're down there, you can get some good New York style pizza, and maybe it's a bunch of other stuff too. But it's good, down in the South. I know you guys are missing that down there. We wanted to talk to RC today. He's got a couple of unique things that's kind of happened to him, but he's got some tips that we want to, and topics that we want to kind of jump in and address here. But why don't you just give us a brief rundown of, first, just like a 1-minute synopsis of your business and where your training is, but the briefest of that, and then kind of the first adjustment you had to make in the pandemic, and then where you've gone from there as far as, just like 5 minutes, talk about where you came from and what you've done first and where you're at today.
Yeah, great. Thank you. So thanks again, everybody. PMQ for allowing me the opportunity to come on here, and US Pizza team. I love being a part of it. RC's NYC Pizza and Pasta started just in a small little shack in Conroe, Texas. I had OK Pizza, another team member who then wasn't, just a really good friend, Dan Saccone, told me my pizza was garbage, convinced me to go to New York to get a better product, or actually really just to go try what a real pizza tastes like. So I had never traveled to New York at that point, so I did. Fell in love with not only the food and the taste and flavors, but as well the craft in and of itself. People in New York, they're professionals. That's what they do. I mean, the people that own the pizzerias, the pizzolos that have been cooking in them for 20, 30 years, they're all family handed down generation after generation. So I begged for a job. I was able to get a chance to stay in New York and work in Soho at a pizzeria and learn what I could of the craft, brought it back, tweaked it here and there, and it constantly is always changing. And my whole goal and my concept was to offer an authentic, not a New York style or type or sort of, but authentic New York recipes. And that was 17 years ago. Here we are, still today, flourishing. Like I said, multiple locations. And I love what I do. It's a passion. And I'm fortunate enough, the pizza community is phenomenal. In the 17 years I've been involved in it, we all feed each other information and help, and we're not really competitors. No one considers themselves competitors in our circles anyway. We all consider ourselves colleagues, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, again, and hello, Carmelo. He's a loyal follower, loyal viewer. And then Alessandro Santocci says, "Ciao from Italy." I don't know if I butchered that name. I do apologize, Alessandro, if I did. But so we're getting an international audience. Yeah, you got the pull here, buddy. So, all right. So why don't you tell me like your first adjustment that you had to make when the situation hit you guys in Texas? I'm not exactly sure of where you are as far as the progression. Everybody's kind of a few weeks behind each other, but the first thing you did in the 5 minutes, first thing up to what you're doing now, and then we'll touch on some of these subjects in depth later, but just kind of a just brief rundown. You get it? You hear me?
I don't know if you can hear me, Brian. I can't hear you.
Yes, I can hear you. Is it your earbud?
Can you figure out why that says that it doesn't work?
Well, some of the things, just while he's getting his situation figured out, let me know when you can hear me. Just wave at me. There's some of the things they're doing over there at RC's is they're doing some groceries to assisted living communities. They're trying to very much respect the no contact rule. You gotta make sure that you're respecting that, but you also have to make sure the third parties are doing that as well. And then also minimizing, obviously people coming into the store, but basically respect the no contact procedures and just be patient because it's new to everybody. And there's a little bit of teaching your staff.
This one's supposed to be.
Look, I'm sorry, guys, for the technical difficulties. Also, support and love the local establishments. Just trying to make sure that you're out there supporting your neighbors as well. If you're buying up, you can have some gift cards and maybe gift those out with some of your meals that people are buying. You can actually go and help some of the other people. So if you want to take that into consideration as far as helping the local community, I'm sure they would pay that back in kind. Something about buying alcohol is very brief description as far as like getting the alcohol or buying alcohol from you. I think I might be able to hear you now.
Okay, I can hear you too.
You there?
Sorry, yes, sir.
I stalled as much as I could, man. Thank you for hanging in there. Definitely ask questions and comments on the side. Alessandro says they still have pizza in Italy. Of course you do. And Mike says you can't hear either of us. Can you hear either of us now?
Now?
All right. Well, let's just continue. We'll put this video up. I can hear you. So RC, why don't you tell us what the first adjustment you did, and then kind of where you're at today.
Sure, you got it. So initially, obviously, the first thing before everyone was shut down, just the dine-in was minimized. You know, we were wiping down everything with sanitizing chemicals, push doors and handrails, the counters where all the guests come in. That was even before the dining room was shut down. So when they left, we would wipe the entire seat where they would touch it, where they would grab it, the countertop, everything that they would come in contact with in the bathrooms, the handles of the restrooms, the toilet flushers and stuff like that. Then it went from that to no dining. So then we were allowing people in the restaurant still. And once again, my employees went to gloves and sanitizing everything. We had somebody that specifically was here, our busboy, who we didn't have tables anymore, so we wanted to keep him employed. So we still had him coming in on his normal scheduled shifts, and he was sanitizing things and, of course, helping hand out food to customers and stuff. Then they went, they extended it out, and at the extension of the stay home, stay safe, we went ahead and just went contact free. And by contact free, no one comes into the restaurant. We were already going that route with the third-party delivery drivers. You know, when consumers, in my opinion, when they were coming in to get food, they were coming straight from home. They weren't going to the grocery store. They might stop and get gas, but they weren't making a bunch of different stops on their way here to get food. You come get hot food, you take it home to have it hot and fresh with your family. So, by that didactic reasoning, we started saying, okay, anyone that's out and about, which would be third-party deliveries going from Mr. Jones' house, Mr. Smith's house, stop and get gas, get a pack of cigarettes, go to the grocery store and get a Red Bull or whatever. We wanted to minimize the contact. So we didn't allow them in the restaurant. We were still sanitizing everything. Now all my employees have masks. They wear masks, totally contact free. Credit cards, we take them over the phone. It is a risk. So we get as much information as we can. Hopefully there aren't any people out there that would be challenging the purchase of food just to get out of paying it during these hard times. Hopefully not, but because if we don't have a signature, of course, they can try and refute that charge. So what we're doing is we're getting a zip code and a 3-digit code on the back, which we might be manually entering the credit card information, which the banks can see how that information was entered. But at the same token, they can also see we've gotten 2 other verified pieces of information from that card holder, which is the zip code of the billing zip code of the card, and then the 3-digit code off the back that it had to actually be in our possession when we made that charge. And that's how we are now.
Sounds like it's been a lot of. Well, I'm just saying, it sounds like there's been a lot of difficulty in implementing the contactless pay on your side. It's not difficult. It's a lot of things that maybe people haven't realized that they have to pay attention to make sure that those funds come through.
Yeah, no doubt. It's a risky time, and we do have a lot of responsibility on our shoulders. Nothing that us as restaurateurs are not accustomed to, And so, we're hoping that our customers will recognize that and be a little more understanding and patient. Same thing for the drivers. If we always advise them on the phone when they make the order before we turn it into the cooks. Listen, we are completely contact free. We tell them what the expectation is so they know when they get here how it's going to work. They don't. It doesn't take longer. They're not shocked when they get here. What? I can't come in. What? I got to give you my credit card. So we advise them first, and if they don't feel comfortable with it at that point, they can tell us before we send the ticket back to the cooks and start that meal. Hey, that's too much hassle. Forget about it. And which obviously happens.
Well, and that's another thing, too, is that some people haven't talked about. Everybody just assumes that everybody's going to be all right with it. But you do have to stay on the phone with them, make sure you don't want to send that ticket back and then be stuck holding this food. Because now, especially right now, you can't afford that food waste. And you can't just recycle it for somebody else's order. So
That's right,
or
Brian.
maybe you can. I don't know.
No, you don't
I'm
want
just
to.
I'm just thinking here.
You've been there, so you know exactly how it works.
Yeah,
So,
that becomes staff food. But I mean, right now with the loss and everybody's watching their pennies and stuff like that, you got to make sure you're training them up front. Everything's crystal clear. So
yeah, we really are.
well, I wanted to talk a little bit about you were saying about staying contactless, and you're requiring all the third parties to stay contactless. Obviously, keeping them out of the store. You're in a unique situation, and this is not to paint them all in a bad light, but with the more contact with third parties, you got to watch them more like a hawk because somebody. Why don't you tell the story? I think you know where I'm hinting at, right?
Sure. Of course. Yes, sir. No doubt. So we did have a incident where a third-party company driver came in, and all of my employees were up front too. It just was, she had a really big bag that we put all the food into, and an employee turned her head to get more food for the next guest in line, and that driver literally snagged their tip jar, hid it in between her body and the sack of all the food that she got, and walked out with it. And of course, as soon as the shift lead that was on the delivery came back, first thing she noticed was that was gone, and they started panicking, and they called me. I was at another store, actually. They called me, and so I looked on the cameras and immediately found out what time, what driver, who it was, what company they were with, and started getting all that information together in order, obviously, to turn it over to the authorities. And so it wasn't really a matter of the financial loss, because tips, it's really hard to gauge how much was in there cash wise, because credit cards are accounted for but cash aren't. So that's the money that my employees are here working hard. They're really working themselves and putting themselves at risk for that money, and thankfully our customer base that are really supporting us during this time, they're tipping huge, thank God. And so really the amount of money that was in there was relayed on to the authorities. The number was probably a little off. It was really disheartening. The first thing you want to do is go and cut all three of them off, but then you're just kind of cutting your lifeline. It's, all we got to do is we have to adjust how we're reacting and responding now. And the best decision was to just have all third parties stay out. They're not tipping us, so they don't have to be in here where our tip jar is. And there again, like I said, my concern was for the safety of my staff and my other guests, because they're the ones that are out in the public and touching a lot of different things and pose the most threat. So, but the good thing about it, and I really don't want to say the company, the third party,
right,
I did on something I posted, but I'm not going to here. So let me say this, honestly, some of the drivers from that company heard about it, took up a donation from other drivers and came in and donated to my staff. They walked in and they wanted us to know that it was from them, from their drivers of that company. They did it out of their own pockets. And the same thing, they work paycheck to paycheck hourly, like my employees do, driving food to consumers, putting themselves at risk. So it was really, really appreciated. It really hit us, in a soft spot. They did what was right, and they found out how much it was through a co-partner, and wound up donating, I think, 3 times what it was. So
wow. Okay, so that was the third party company whose employee was responsible for that, did that, right?
The third party didn't do it. Other delivery drivers for that third party, because they didn't want to bad on them. So they felt responsible for it, and they were, carrying that burden.
And that just goes to show that most people are acting responsibly, and they understand we're all in the same thing. There are some heels out there for sure, but I mean, that just brings a tear to my eye right now. I'm getting choked up thinking that, they're like doing that, tipping back or, helping out. So, it's definitely something that's very touching right there. Carmelo wants to know, how are you dealing with staff that's scared to come to work? And how do you deal with staff how do you deal with hiring staff with so much employment out there stronger? We'll get to that second one. Let's do that first. Staff that's scared to come to work.
So, it has happened. It happened actually before we were even under any sort of advisement to social distance or minimize contact or anything like that. There were others that felt the danger, and honestly, we don't know what they're going through or what family members they live with who are at risk, that have other underlying physical or ailments. So we're certainly requesting anybody that's sick right now, anybody that calls in sick, you drank too much last night, you stayed up too late playing video games, whatever it is. We have had that happen. We refuse them to come back to work until they go to a doctor and get checked out. Even if they're not posing symptoms, they still called in sick. So the safest, smartest thing I can do is to cause them to go and be seen by a professional and get a clearance during these times to be able to return back to work. People that are refusing to come into work, I will hire more to cover my business because unfortunately we need the staff right now. So we're doing what we can to hire more to keep our business running and our customers not really feeling any impacts of it. If there is a job available when those people come back, if they were eligible for rehire anyways, then of course we're extending that out to them. There's nothing wrong, nothing against people wanting to go and protect themselves or protect their families, So that's really it. It just is, if they don't feel safe, I understand. I don't want to force anybody to come in and bear that burden. So extend out our gratitude to them, and thanks for making us aware. And maybe some of them are even just too afraid themselves. If there isn't somebody in their household that has a pre-existing condition that would make them susceptible, and I respect that. It's okay. It's not easy, but in these times, we're compassionate to those employees' needs.
Okay. Well, I wanted to talk a little bit about something that was just kind of briefly mentioned. We'd actually, in our conversations, didn't even get too far into it. Something about groceries to assisted living communities. Are you helping in that general area?
Yeah, definitely. Fortunately for us, one of my oldest location, Kingwood, Texas, within 6 miles, I have 4 or 5 different senior living communities. And so we started programs and brought in other foods, raw materials that can be provided, produce, toilet paper, baby wipes, gallons of milk, stuff like that. Nowadays, we're getting a little more normal. You can find all these things readily available. They're difficult to find. We got our hands on masks, and we have those for the employees. I didn't acquire enough to take to the senior living center, but they really had a outpouring of assistance other than us. So it's a really great community that we operate in. Actually, all the communities we operate in, everyone's been really, really great about extending out help whoever has the means to help.
Okay, and is this like a front door drop off? How are you guys staying safe, especially since they're kind of at they're the higher risk, people for this pandemic?
That's right. And so all these senior living centers have a common area where their office is, and there's a front desk. People have to check in before they go in and see their relatives or whatever anyways. So that's where our drop-off centers are. And we've had some that have come in and picked them up as well. It's not just the senior living centers and seniors that we're doing that for. We provide it at 2 of our 3 locations. It is on all of our third-party platforms. We added a whole new menu on that third platform. And really, let me tell you guys, business owners, restaurateurs, if you haven't thought about it, you might be hammering Facebook and Instagram and all these social platforms telling them, oh, look, hey, we have toilet paper and baby wipes, and we have raw beef and raw food that you can take and bake. Yeah, like family 4-pack's a great example. We have all these things, offers that foods that we're offering that you can come and pick up. And again, everyone knows as a restaurant, we unless you have a manufacturing license or a wholesale license, we can't sell raw product to consumers. Right now, there is an exception. So don't think that you are looking to get in trouble or have to answer, to any state or federal agencies. They are allowing it, just like they're allowing in Texas anyways, like they're allowing delivery of alcohol. Now, these third parties will not let you put alcohol on their platforms, but you can put, hey, we have 10 pounds of ground beef. You cannot find ground beef in the regular grocery stores out here unless you go early in the morning. And when you go early in the morning, you're dealing with crowds, standing in lines, you're putting yourself more at risk. All of our suppliers have tons and tons and tons of this. And actually, if your supplier isn't reaching out to you guys, let me tell you something. You should be reaching out to them proactively and asking them, hey, all their corporate accounts that used to have 10 and 15 and 20 locations, statewide, that have these PARs in their freezers, beef, chicken wings, pepperoni, all the things that we need, even flour. They're not buying the multitudes like they used to, so there's an overabundance of supply in these houses, and they're getting approval to unlock them off of these franchise groups and be able to provide them to everybody that buys from them. So this is a God honest truth. I picked up $6,000 worth of groceries last week for $3,000, 50%. So 50 cents on the dollar. I picked up pepperoni, ground beef, chicken breast, chicken tenderloins, and chicken wings. I didn't do anything with my tomatoes or my cheese because those really make a huge difference in our product, as everybody else knows. Flour, if you're using a gold medal product, gold medal all trumps is the same from whoever you get it from. Not everybody carries the awesome Americana that I get. So, I can't get my flour from somewhere else. But just FYI, there's some tips there that we can be looking to if you haven't already taken that upon yourself. And right now, also, I'm sorry, I'm kind of going off the cuff from here, Brian, if it's okay. Other things, as we all have seen, the insurance companies, our regular car insurance companies are now minimizing and they're kicking back 25%. And I think State Farm or Farmers, one of those two big ones, started it. And then here a week later, now everyone's jumping on the bandwagon. Well, if you haven't noticed yet, those third parties, DoorDash is the first one that has set out and said they've been always doing free delivery during this entire time. That's only for the consumer. You and I, we've always been paying out that 20 plus to 30%.
30% commission, right. And I remember hearing they were one of the first ones to cut that.
That's right. They just cut it. So right now, if you have a sales rep or if you have a tablet in your restaurant where you can chat with somebody, get a manager on the phone if they're answering their lines, I'm sending out emails. Anyone that's ever sent me an email from those companies, I'm sending out emails and I'm asking them to follow suit, cut your fees. 50% really isn't enough when DoorDash was charging 30. Now all these other ones, Grubhub and Uber Eats, we started with them a little bit lower, thanks to Lamarca and Dan Saccone, who are all US Pizza team members who were on the phone call with us when we got a low 23%. So right now is the time to be putting these people against the fence and getting what we can out of them and making them operate on a more level playing field that won't strangle us local restaurateurs.
Well, yeah, and even Joe Aurelio yesterday was saying the same thing. Kind of reach out to them. All they can say is no, but I think everybody's willing, even if they haven't done it already out of the goodness of their heart, they're willing to work with you because in the end they still want to get paid eventually. But they understand that if they lose you, they're not going to get paid in perpetuity. You're done. So,
and the more of us, this is the deal. The more of us that email them and request it, then it even just makes it okay. Well, it's not just RC, the squeaky wheel. That this guy wants everything for free. Man, this guy wants everything cheap. Now it's everybody. I mean, we got to unite. We have to stick together. I'm sure that the restaurant associations and Lamarca would be a better resource for this, but I'm sure that they are all, and I know from his posts I've been reading, they are on top of everything. They're talking to every agency and every official that they can, and they're really fighting for us, but we have to do some of our own battling as well and just be proactive. Okay.
Well, I wanted to kind of move on here real quick to just social media. Well, less social media, but more local support and just stability.
Yeah.
Basically, you love local support, but you're encouraging people to please tag and post other people's establishments, other local ones, instead of yourself. And you've even done something with gift cards from, I don't want to say competitors, but other local restaurateurs.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, Brian. We local, there's a huge community here local. I'm sure other states have other and cities have communities on Facebook that are local business owners, and we've come together and we made videos, because all these local shops, we have all the same customers. Once again, we have to have the mentality of operating as colleagues, not as competitors. I don't care. There's a post we shared for a teriyaki company, brand new teriyaki company. That owner, Kevin, comes into our restaurant and enjoys our food, takes our food to his staff. Other ones, Potato Patch here local, they come in and get food for their family, got our pizza kit for their kids, shared videos videos. So if you know the people that love your product, and we all know how many who our superstars are, so what you want to do is just get on Facebook or email or however it is you're talking to them, and request that they share. Other companies, I'm going to say this, is that I'm telling companies or consumers, please just right now go out, buy gift cards. I mean, I don't care if you buy it from me, buy it from another local company. If we all buy local, keep it local, I tell you what, everyone's going to make it. And it's kind of like the money guys were saying about the stock exchange. If you're pulling all your money out of the stock market right now, basically you're saying you don't think America is strong enough, you don't think that company is strong enough, you don't think they're ever going to recover. Any company that's ever gone down, their stock has gone down, it always comes back up, and with a vengeance. So we got to be smart about it. If you're not buying a gift card from your local gluten-free restaurant or your local Greek restaurant because you don't know if they're going to make it through this, let me tell you, right, that attitude right there is going to make them not make it. You're buying stock in that company by buying a gift certificate. And I'll tell you this, and I haven't put a post out about it, so this is the first one. I've invited a lot of our customers to come and watch this video, so I hope that they are. If you buy a gift certificate from today, April 11th, 2020, if you buy a gift certificate from one of the local companies here in any of the three communities we operate in, if you buy it, save your receipt. If that company has a hard time reopening afterwards and they don't open it immediately, it's going to be months down the road or whatever it is, bring that gift card to me with your receipt, and it's got to be after this date, and I will honor that. You got $50 from a Greek restaurant that didn't make it or isn't opening, or they whatever the reason may be, they're slower to open than we are. Bring it to me. I'll honor it, and you'll get $50 worth of food at my restaurant. I can't do anything with it.
No, that's great though. Because you're encouraging to buy local, and then if the unfortunate case they go down. You'll still, these people spent their money, they did their best.
Also,
so you're going to reward them with that. This brings me to another post that you would put up on your site on Facebook. This is something that I guess Nick's Local Eats gift card giveaway. It's something similar, but they're encouraging people to buy, from local restaurants and save the receipt to win, I guess, additional gift cards. So I guess hashtag Nick's Local Eats to go for any more information on that. But I think it's different, sounds different from what you're doing. But I think I like what you're doing on that honorable side. So I did want to. No, I'm going to save this for the end. This was kind of a part of that bullet point that you sent me, but I'm going to save it. So we're buying local, and you're going to honor that. So anything from the date of April 11th on, save your receipt for gift cards. Use them, definitely use them. But if you can't use them, RC's NYC Pasta will honor them.
And let me tell you this: let's just say they are still open, and you just don't feel like having Chinese that day. You want some of the best pizza or pasta you're going to get. Bring it in to me anyway. I'll give that to my staff and let them use it. Okay.
Okay. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, I'm sure you're going to get an influx of people with comments and questions on that one. We got some more people. I guess Carmelo says that they barter with other restaurants owners, that they post a restaurant on the Facebook page with pictures of their food and doing what they can to work together. So again, everybody's kind of doing this. It's just nice to hear that other people are as well and maybe get some ideas. So I think that camaraderie and strength in numbers is actually, it's coming to the top right now. Cream rises to the top.
Always does.
Now, I did want to say, you said something about buying alcohol, that you guys as restaurants, you kind of get stuck with the loss of alcohol, but kind of expand on what this bullet point was.
Yeah, definitely. So we all that have draft beer, we've got, tons and tons of kegs. We probably had kegs in backup, because we don't just buy one. Fortunately for us in the state of Texas, they've allowed us to sell alcohol to go. You can sell individual. You can even sell uncorked alcohol, meaning if you have a full liquor license, you can sell a Jack and Coke. You need to seal it and have it, just like the daiquiri places do, put it in a to-go container, throw a lid on it, put tape over the lid, because, that straw cannot penetrate that tape on the way home. So we can offer alcohol like that. We just recently have decided to start offering pitchers of beer that would be provided in half-gallon jugs of draft beer. just so we can move it. We want to get it out of here. And we all know the profit margin on alcohol. I think that, we're discounting our alcohol so that we can move it. There's no reason for me to have 3-month-old bottles of beer after this is all said and done, and trying to sell that to somebody when I can just get fresh beer in. But I don't want to take that money loss. So I want to keep it moving, market it. I've seen other restaurants in California, one of the GOAT in our industry, pushing bottles of wine and family time and stuff like that. And so it really is good. And why they're going out and getting alcohol anyway? Why let them go to the big boxes and the grocery stores? Let them come to us. Keep it local. They're going to come and get your awesome food from you anyways. They love you, they support you, and they trust you. So take a little bit off the top of that alcohol that you better than losing it. So if a bottle of Bud Light costs you 89 cents or 94 cents, I mean, why can't you sell it for $1.25 or $1.50 to move it instead of the $3 that we sell it for when we're open normal days? But that's my input, and so the draft as well. That's what we're doing with the draft. And talking with my one of my employees, shift lady, who was suggesting one of the wines that we have that the women love is mixed with lemonade and putting that in a half gallon as well. So we're coming up with different ideas and the best ways that we can to keep everything moving in our restaurant and through our fingers, in the back door from our suppliers, out the front door to our consumers, fresh. And when we reopen, we have the freshest ingredients that we can have. Nothing's been laying stagnant.
Good. Well, yeah. I mean, it's all about being reactionary and trying to get your product out, like you said, not trying to sit on it. I don't know if anybody else can see that. I think we lost your video a little bit, but I'll put more pictures of his smiling face up there. But I did want to talk to you a little bit about. Well, I wanted to say, you were saying people are buying more of the raw ingredients. Now that's just it's not like necessarily through pizza kits, but more kind of extra grocery.
That's right. 4 packs of tomatoes, heads of lettuce. I mean, again, I'm sure all you
can be delivered with your pizza or your meal, right?
Heck yeah, why not? I mean, I'm sure all the restaurant people, we're out shopping for our own families, or we're going when we run out of stuff. And you look at those counters, those shelves at the restaurant, at the grocery stores, they're always empty. I mean, we run out of basil. I just need basil. I can't find it anywhere. So, providing, being able to move that product, keeping it fresh, and getting more money in your cash register and helping that consumer out more that you can. They don't have to go wait in line and put themselves at risk. Ours comes into our back door. We always have multitudes of it. Sacone a while back started doing pounds of pasta with cans of tomatoes, and give them a little recipe, let them take it home and make their own gravy or marinara, pizza sauce, whatever you want to call it. They can go home and make some of that. You can give them a recipe, and again, all you're doing is just reinforcing that relationship and get them to start some sort of a family tradition, because everyone's gotten out of it. All of our Italian friends, you talk to people in Chicago and New York, the Ragos and Sacone and all these people that grew up in that environment. Man, family, Sunday, you all get together, you all sit down and you eat. Someone's always cooking in the kitchen. Nowadays, everyone's running out and buying fast food, or they're not cooking at home. And so this is kind of, we're giving them our products. They're relying on us. They're remembering when this is all said and done. They're going to remember. Man, I remember RC was doing this for the community, that for us. And when we needed toilet paper and we couldn't go and find any, they had some for us. And I mean, we're just constantly offering things to the community, and it's really, it always pays back 100-fold.
Well, that's great. Let me see if I can get your pretty face here again. Still no. So we'll go back here. But Carmelo says he's doing, same thing. Just be happy out there. This kind of actually brings me to my the next question I wanted to ask. Not question, but I mean, your bullet points of what you're doing were like, they weren't vague, but it's more like you're directing your customers, but like tip the staff and smile. Now it's the best time to be happy and share happiness and love with another person. I mean, is that something that you're encouraging other people to go out and tip other local restaurants and have that, spread that pay forward, spread that cheer?
Yes, definitely. That's exactly it. It's really hard. It's really easy to be negative. It's really easy to just kind of like, oh man, this sucks. Like I'm stuck at home, and hey, we're living. Hey, we're gonna get through this. Everyone, we're also able to eat. We're all sharing time with our family. So it's like we should be happier, you know. And somebody else, you don't know what they're going through when they walk through that door in our restaurant. My employees, I'm always telling them, you got to be smiling. You got to be smiling. You can make a difference in that person's life. And the consumers, I'm like, hey, tip the staff, and just come in and smile and just smile. The one thing.
And that's
the one thing that's more infectious than the coronavirus, and that's a smile. I can't.
And that's you put that up there. I had to put it up there, man. Smiles are contact free, but contagious.
That's right.
That's one of the best lines I've heard this whole time. It made me smile, and I'm gonna pass it along.
There you go. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that.
No, I think it's great. Just pay it forward, but to have the cheery attitude. Project strength. Let people know that yes, we're gonna get through this together. But I guess I will let you say, is there one other thing? Let me see if I can get you back on here. No, I'm still having trouble with your video. No worries. Is there one final message you want to kind of give to the pizza industry? Either the pizza industry or customers, coming into your restaurant, because I know people are watching this through your Facebook as well. So
sure. Honestly, so two things. One, I want to thank my awesome, beautiful, wonderful, loving, giving wife. She's not on this call, but she
jumped in earlier, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a techie. My 15-year-old son had to get my computer up and going. Sorry, guys. But anyway, I know she's watching, so I wanted to make sure everyone knows that all those awesome pictures and layouts that you're seeing on our website, my wife does all that. She takes care of our social media. She's constantly, we take pictures here, we send them to her. She puts them in awesome little spreads and makes these beautiful displays for us and keeps everyone active when I can't. I'm covered up in flour or whatever I'm doing. So that for sure. But for the rest of the restaurant community and the pizza owners and consumers alike, we've gone through a lot more than this in our entire lives. We wouldn't be where we are as businessmen. We have experienced hardships, tough times, great, awesome times. We've walked in where, holy crap, the only two ovens you got, they're not turning on. What do you do? How do you fix it? We always find a solution and overcome. So just, stay strong, be happy. If you got family around you, spend your time with them. God is good. I'm very, very blessed in my life. Our customers have and will support us. We wouldn't be open if they didn't. They rely on us as much as we rely on them. So like Brian said, pay it forward. Give a smile. Those my employees, I tell them when they work a 6-hour shift, you only got to smile for 6 hours. I smile 23 hours. The other hour I'm asleep. So
well,
it feels good.
Yeah,
oh, wait,
this is
look at that. Holy cow, look at that smile.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I had to go with the super cheese here. That's great. I love it. All right. So now we're coming to the hard hitting question, the one that I've been waiting as the gotcha journalism. This is something that you'd actually sent to me. So, Tiger King, love it or hate it? I think this went along with about supporting local and stuff like that, but it was just such a random note at the end of it that you.
So let me elaborate on that. I despise it. I hate it. It's just I hate it. I haven't even watched 2 seconds of it. But you know what? Everybody's talking about this. My 15-year-old kid wants to go and watch. I'm like, how do you even know about it? And that's how our country operates right now. One thing happens that I don't care if it's Bachelorette or Tiger King or the fireman saved the kitten, whatever the heck it is. It hits social media. And everybody jumps on board. Then you got a lady dressed up in her Catwoman outfit to get all the firemen to come and rescue her, putting it on Instagram, hoping that she gets 1 million likes. I mean, everyone's always intrigued with what's online. They want to be a part of what is already trending or what's happening in the world. I mean, what kind of a grown man puts on a goofy blonde wig and a tiger shirt and a fake nose ring? I mean, come on. That's what people are doing.
Well, you don't know that it's a fake wig, man. That's just.
I'm talking about adults in art that I saw on Facebook.
Oh, okay. So something else. Okay.
Yeah. Not the Tiger King guy. Just people that they want to be a part of it or talked about so much as something that's popular right now. That's what they do. So hey, make it us. We'll have them talking about our food and our posts and all the love and smiles and it's generosity and everything that we're offering to them. So Pizza King, forget Tiger King, Pizza King.
Pizza. Well, you might have run into a cease and desist from the franchise, but we'll run it as long as we can.
Yeah,
but I think there's a good message in there too, is that we have a captive audience and people are trying to grab onto that next viral thing. Make sure it's a positive viral thing. That could be you, but don't do the stupid stuff. Go out there, do a viral thing where you're helping somebody, or being socially responsible, helping somebody from a distance. I don't know what it could be. Paying it forward, getting gift cards, eating local, eat a different local place every night that's open in your town. Put that online. That's what people want to see. They also want to see the stupid crap, but I think they'll gravitate more towards the heartwarming stuff at this point. So that's how you can stay relevant.
Exactly. You got it. Stay relevant.
All right, well, I'm going to try it one more time, see if we can get your pretty face in here. No camera. All right, we're going to go back here. So, RC, that's we have no more questions, I don't think. But, where can people reach you if they want to, ask about some of the things that you guys are doing or just kind of bounce ideas off of you?
Yeah, so you can definitely email me at rc@rcsnycpizza.com. You can go to our website. My email's there. You can go to our Facebook, whichever. Reach out to me on Messenger. Any of you that are on Facebook, you can reach out to me on Messenger, definitely. And really quick, I got to do something really quick. I almost forgot.
Okay.
Gluten-free. So all my gluten-free followers, can I do it?
Yeah, no, go ahead. You mentioned that earlier. I forgot completely.
Cool. All my gluten-free followers. So 2 days ago, we launched a video and some pictures of a brand new gluten-free pizza that we're doing. Had 130 people interested in it. So this is what we did. We made a bunch of gluten-free pies. I got more proofing right here on the counter next to me. As a matter of fact, I wish my camera worked. I would show it to you guys. But so I'm going to say the next 50 people that DM me or private message, whatever they call it on Facebook nowadays, but send me a private message on Facebook. I don't care if it's my Woodlands location, Kingwood location, or Valley Ranch franchise. Private message me right now that you saw us on this PMQ video broadcast, and I will get you a free sample of this new gluten-free pizza, Sicilian pizza. It's phenomenal. You guys saw the video. Everyone's been hitting me up about it. So this is the way we'll see who really follows us on Facebook.
A Sicilian gluten-free. That's it's intriguing. All right. I'd be interested to see that. I was looking through. I didn't actually see that. So, it's pretty much kind of that free giveaway. And this is, are you going to maybe do these as par bakes and take home kits eventually?
Yeah, I had some good friends that are great customers come out that are gluten-free, have been for 10 years, come out and sample those for me. And they were saying how much, they go and they pay, $15 for these horrible gluten-free products that they get at the grocery stores and stuff like that. And they're like, man, I would love to have this in a kit. I could take it home and make it myself. So definitely that's something, because they're all par baked. Most of the people that do homemade gluten-free pizzerias, we are offering them par baked. We have par baked, and then we just top them off and finish them off for the consumers. So yeah, offering it for a customer to take home, get them involved, and do a take and bake at home for that as well.
Okay, and then you did want Carmelo again jumped in at the last second with another question though. How do you deal with customers that don't tip when it comes to tipping on curbside? It's like, a lot of times if I would go into takeout or pickup, sometimes I wouldn't tip. I usually tip. I'm a good tipper, but some people feel that if it's curbside, they don't tip. I mean, is there ways to encourage that gently without making them angry? Or
honestly, there is, and this is what we do. That's a great question, Carmelo, too. So what we do and what I train my staff to do, so we take payment over the phone, contact free, right? So when they're paying, I get their information and I just go, okay, well, thank you very much, Mr. Jones. Would you like to put a tip on here for the staff? I just say it like that, and if they don't, it's okay. I mean, people that don't tip, people that do, they tip. Let me tell you, like I said, I literally just last night saw a tip of $50 on a $15 ticket, and I asked my staff, is this real? And they said, oh yeah, Carl has been tipping like that since this whole thing started. I said, oh my God, he comes in 2 to 3 times every week. So I said, next time he walks in, you tell him lunch is on us.
Nice.
So there are a lot of customers that are really over tipping. There really are. If they don't want to, if they get mad, it's just like, the most gracious way, you can, oh, I'm so sorry. I just, we just wanted to make sure since it's contact free. Some people are not, I don't know, don't have the opportunity to.
Right.
So, It's just a reminder, friendly reminder.
Well, I mean, it's that gentle nudging. It's all in the tone of voice. Don't make it a demand. Make it a gentle suggestion. Are you finding that more people are tipping than not? I mean, did you do curbside at first?
No, sir, we did not. We did
Right,
not
so-
do curbside until we went completely contact free.
But then you did takeout, though, right?
We did always do takeout.
What was kind of the percentage of people who tipped on takeout? I mean, like I said, that's the tricky one right there.
75%. My
Really?
employees make
Okay.
great money in tips on takeout. It was crazy. And again, even when we were open, we don't do full service, but we go out and we take care of our guests. We refill their drinks. We bus their tables and run their food to them and check on them, or offer refills on their beer, not refill, but additional purchases of beers and stuff like that. So we almost wait on them while they're in here, but we are counter service. So once again, our consumers are kind of trained. They know the level of service they're getting, so they already want to tip. And when they come in the door for pickup, they are tipping.
All right. Well, it's a matter of who the person is, apparently, but it's also, I think that more people are willing and more inclined to tip if they can in this time. I'm sorry, Carmelo. It sounds like your neighborhood is just kind of a bunch of jerks. I'm going to have to drive through to go see my parents, I'm sure. So I want to keep my comments to myself. But, again, I want to thank, here's another one. All right. So, it's Gino Rago. Oh, we got a couple guys here. Just want to acknowledge you guys for coming in. I was getting ready to say thank everybody for joining in and being participatory. Carmelo, obviously, Mike Doniker, you guys have been here like every single day. Edgar Sierra says best wishes to all. And then we got a Rago in the room. All rise.
Hey,
Rago. Ciao,
Rago.
guys. So thanks for tuning in, Gino. I'm going to be talking with Lenny, I think, maybe Tuesday. So I hope to get you on there, too, as well at some point, Gino. But I'm just trying to hear what all my U.S. Pizza Team guys are doing as far as, handling this, because everybody's different. They're all in different locations. We're going to be going to I'm going to be talking with Donatella Arpaia from New York, as she has Prova Pizza Bars. She has one at Grand Central Station and one at Times Square. So the epicenter, she's going to be talking about why she had to shut down temporarily, and not force her decision, but what she weighed to make that decision, and what her plans are for reopening. And I know a lot of people in this last week, it's kind of hit them to where they've had to close down, but you have to have that plan for reopening, because you're not going to be staying closed down forever. So that's where we're going to go with that. It's like, what's the plans for the future? Let's think about that when we come back. So we're going to take tomorrow off. It's Easter. I hope everybody has a great Easter and spend it with your family. I'm going to take a nap. Been doing these every day, and I want to thank everybody who's been doing this at RC, all my pizza team guys. Even if there's not a pizza team guy, if you guys know somebody you think would be great to be interviewed on PMQ Live Update, you can reach me at brian@pmq.com or on Facebook, Brian Hernandez PMQ, or reach out through your local pizzeria guy, and they can contact me too. But RC, you've given us some valuable information here, and we do love. Let me see if I can get your cameras up. Still no, huh? It's all right. It's technology. This the internet, the interwebs are very taxed right now. Everybody's using it. So,
hey, happy birthday to Steve Green too. It was a couple of days ago.
Yeah, it was yesterday. I forgot to mention it on air, but I did text him after the fact. We're usually in Italy at this point, competing at the World Pizza Championships, and this year obviously got postponed to October. So, but happy birthday to my boss, Steve Green. Great boss, very caring, and loves his employees and loves the pizza industry more.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think it's that order right there. So, all right, guys. So Gino says, take care, RC. Carmelo, we'll talk about that. Just give me a ring. And happy Easter, everybody.
Thanks, Gino.
Gino, yes, you were late again. So, RC, thanks one more time. And just give a sign off for everybody.
You got it. Thanks for having me on PMQ Magazine. I really appreciate it. Brian, you don't get enough credit for everything that you do, man. You're behind the scenes, pushing us all, making sure we get everything done and spread the word. And you're behind the pizza industry as much as Steve Green or any of us are. So thanks so much for what you do. And Gino Rago, thanks again. I'll be showing you those Easter breads that I'm making, okay?
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And Gino, get on the bus. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Or we'll see you guys Monday.
Guys, eat more pizza.
Happy Easter.
Stay safe. All right.